Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys haven't done nearly enough to fix biggest weakness. In a year where the Dallas Cowboys are supposedly all in, according to owner Jerry Jones, the franchise has turned a bit of a blind eye to what could wind up being the roster's most glaring weakness. This offseason saw All-Pro running backs Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry change area codes. Former rushing champion Josh Jacobs moved on from the Las Vegas Raiders to the Green Bay Packers, and the Cowboys even lost out on the chance to sign Aaron Jones, who landed with the Minnesota Vikings. After allowing Tony Pollard to walk via free agency, the Cowboys reunited with Ezekiel Elliott, rather than going shopping at the top of the running back market. Head coach Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys sound committed to a running back by committee approach, but it is fair to wonder if Dallas left better options on the table this offseason. NFL Media's Kevin Patra suggests that the Cowboys' backfield is one of the biggest remaining weaknesses for any team across the league. This feels like a true test of the theory that running backs are interchangeable, Patra suggests. After years of disparaging Dallas for paying the going rate for RBs in a dwindling market, can we scoff at the Cowboys for going cheap at the position, given the other rising costs on the roster? The glaring issue is that there isn't a low-cost rookie option to lean on. Ezekiel Elliott played fine last season in New England but averaged a career-low 3.5 yards per attempt. He no longer owns the every-down juice. Entering his 9th NFL campaign, Zeke's best attribute at this stage is his pass protection, which is great because the Cowboys figure to pass a lot. Rico Dowdle is a fine compliment, but can he sustain with a larger load? Deuce Vaughn got little run as a rookie last year, and the Cowboys are cross-training him at slot receiver. Running a committee is an acceptable plan, but adding another quality body or two, perhaps after roster cuts, feels needed. It isn't difficult to envision Elliott's physicality proving to be an asset in short yardage and goal line situations for the Cowboys, but to rely on him to be the focal point of the ground attack feels foolhardy at this stage of his career. The Cowboys finished last season ranked in the middle of the pack, 14th in rushing offense, but it will be interesting to see if Dallas adds at the position during training camp or the preseason given the unknown surrounding Elliott currently in the backfield. Cowboys news: running back one of the key positions to watch. Will the Cowboys be able to establish a true lead back this season? Ahead of July training camps, clubs can fill gaps with veterans, some of whom probably preferred to sit out the spring portion of the offseason. Talent still meanders on the open market, with cornerback Stephon Gilmore, safety Justin Simmons, and others available. Some players overcoming injuries, like interior O-lineman Connor Williams, will eventually find a home. As the players head into summer break, it's a perfect time to spotlight the 10 biggest remaining roster holes scattered across the league. Ranked 10 Dallas Cowboys running back. Let's start our countdown with one to argue about. This feels like a true test of the theory that running backs are interchangeable. After years of disparaging Dallas for paying the going rate for RBs in a dwindling market, can we scoff at the Cowboys for going cheap at the position, given the other rising costs on the roster? The glaring issue is that there isn't a low-cost rookie option to lean on. Ezekiel Elliott played fine last season in New England but averaged a career-low 3.5 yards per attempt. He no longer owns the every-down juice. Entering his 9th NFL campaign, Zeke's best attribute at this stage is his pass protection, which is great because the Cowboys figure to pass a lot. Rico Dowdle is a fine compliment, but can he sustain with a larger load? Deuce Vaughn got little run as a rookie last year, and the Cowboys are cross-training him at slot receiver. Running a committee is an acceptable plan, but adding another quality body or two, perhaps after roster cuts, feels needed. Seeing how Mike Zimmer plans to use the Cowboys' deep group of safeties is one of the top stories for 2024 training camp. The biggest difference in safety play will be the versatility needed. It won't consist of just your conventional free safety and strong safety. Zimmer is a deceptive coach and loves to keep opposing teams guessing, so using his safeties interchangeably is very important. This means the Cowboys' starting safeties will need a good range of skills to do what is required. One of those safeties will be Malik Hooker. He's the team's best coverage safety and is effective enough near the line of scrimmage to handle his part. It's crazy that this one-time low-cost free agent signing has become the team's most consistent safety over the last few years. What a great move that was. The trickier part is, who will be the other guy? They have a few good options, all possessing different traits, but which one provides Zimmer with the versatility he needs? Let's run through the candidates and figure this thing out. Cowboys aiming to finalize Dak Prescott extension before CeeDee Lamb? With minicamp now in the books, the period leading up to Cowboys training camp will be dominated by progress on extension talks for Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. The latter is under contract for 2 more years, so he is not as pressing of a financial priority this summer. Prescott has firmly remained in Dallas plans beyond the 2024 campaign, one in which he is set to carry a cap hit of $55.13 million. With no tag and no trade clauses in his deal, last season's MVP runner-up has plenty of leverage in a potential bid to reach the top of the quarterback market. A report from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler earlier this month indicated the Cowboys are set to make a strong offer to keep Prescott in the fold. To little surprise, that has placed the 30-year-old at the top of the pecking order in terms of lucrative Dallas extensions. Fowler noted in a recent SportsCenter appearance that the Cowboys want to work out the Prescott accord before those of Lamb and Parsons, video link. Such an approach would come as little surprise, considering the respective cap situations of the 3 players and the nature of the quarterback, as opposed to receiver and edge rush markets. Prescott is a candidate to set a new standard in terms of annual average compensation on his next deal. Both Joe Burrow, Bengals, and Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, are currently at $55 million in that regard. The former 4th-rounder has publicly stated that his latest round of negotiations will not be as centered on finances as the last one, and the extent to which that holds true will be a key factor in this process. As Fowler confirms, the Cowboys have not yet aggressively engaged in extension talks with Prescott. If that continues for the time being, Lamb will be left to wait for serious negotiations of his own. The 3-time Pro Bowler did not take part in OTAs or mandatory minicamp as he continues to seek out an extension. Lamb has seen Justin Jefferson reset the top of the receiver market with his $35 million per year Vikings pact, and his own value could be similar. Given the surge in lucrative receiver packs signed by other top producers at the position recently, Lamb will have significant leverage after any potential Prescott deal is hammered out. Of course, new agreements for either member of that pair will have to be made with Parsons in mind as well. Under contract in 2025 via his 5th-year option, Parsons is aiming to usurp Jefferson as the league's top-paid non-quarterback. The resources Dallas has available to meet that goal, likely next offseason, will largely depend on the progress made with Prescott and Lamb, in that order, during the near future. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.